Three-time NBA champion, 2015 Finals MVP. We all know the stats, but what we miss is you actually being on the court. We haven't seen you since June of 2019 in the NBA Finals, but let's walk back. I know you can't talk about what teams are saying or what's going to happen. But how have you been?
You sure you can't?
Yeah, what have you been up to? What are you doing to keep yourself busy?
We got somebody at the table with all the answers. So.
Why he breaking news while we in the meeting room?
It's been good. Really getting a chance to take a step back and kind of see how everything would evolve. And it's been a blessing in disguise. You don't know it early on, but like right now, start waking up, getting out of bed, and nothing's hurting. It's kind of like I thought to myself like a week or two ago, like, whoa, this put an extra year or two in my career. So it's kind of been a blessing in disguise.
Well, you mentioned it. Woj has all the answers and he can speak on it. So if you don't mind, while he's sitting right next to you, talk to us about the Grizzlies' plan.
Yeah, Maria. The Grizzlies, as they've done here for the last couple months, they're trying to find a trade for Andre. They want to try to get back, essentially a draft pick to move him on. They have not wanted to do a contract buyout. February 6th, if there's not a deal done by the trade deadline, then that's a conversation that I'm sure Andre and his agent would like to have with them. Then he could become a free agent, could sign with the Lakers, the Clippers, could go to LA, could go anywhere he'd like. But right now, Memphis has been pretty confident all year that they would find a trade for Andre, but so far that hasn't happened.
J. Rose, let's do the speculation for Dre.
Yes.
Where does Dre need to go? Where would you send Andre Iguodala to win a championship?
Well, I'm a Pistons homer, and he ain't going there. He's a great businessman because he's still cashing checks a couple of times a month. I appreciate that, young man. I would say the Clippers have a closing lineup. The Lakers do not.
I don't know.
So, therefore, in Los Angeles, with the Lakers.
I don't want to get him in trouble. I'm getting yelled out of my ear not to get him in trouble. So
Get him in trouble.
I will tell you, though.
It's great he got options.
It's going to be fascinating because, we talked this morning, and you said you haven't had this time off in basketball since the beginning, probably, of your NBA career. So to watch him come back, what he can do from a defensive perspective is by far by none. He's a lockdown defender, and he's a guy who's made big shots in his career. So whoever does get Andre Iguodala will have a legitimate chance to win the world championship.
And how about just the experience in general? You played in over 1,100 games, 5 straight NBA Finals. I mean, at this point in your career, what is the most important thing to you?
Well, I think as you get older, you still want to show what you can do. So, while you're out there, obviously, for me, the last 5 years, less has been more. So it's been a really good pocket for me. But I still want to show that I can really be out there doing a lot of different things, playing multiple positions, whether it be playing a point guard position or small ball, whether it be a stretch four, or just making plays, rebounding, knocking out open shots, being a good teammate, mentoring the young guys, as I've always done throughout my career, and just enjoying the game as well. I think over the last couple of months, getting your mentals right. As Marshawn said that. That has been like,
Get your mentals right.
Take care of your chicken right.
Take care of your chicken and keep, like I've learned that, a lot of guys when they retire, it's kind of like you're trying to find yourself, and it's kind of been a good break to kind of experience what that's been like and kind of get that schedule right and learning what you want.
How do you get your mentals right?
I've been meditating a little bit. I do some boxing, which is really good, and I've been doing a lot of Pilates, and you can do some meditation while you're in Pilates as well. It's tough.
Okay. Well, you mentioned the young boys, and there's not one younger probably than Zion that's making a big deal right now in the NBA. You're making your NBA countdown debut. How about Zion on Wednesday? That's what he did against the Spurs, and we had to wait 4 months to see him take the court, but it was pretty much worth the wait. Zion Williamson, he makes the debut and scores 22 points in 18 minutes, guys. 17 of those came in the fourth quarter, and there he is getting ready to play in just his second game of his very, very young NBA season. But look at that, 4 for 4 from three-point. I mean, I don't think you could imagine the reaction that we would see from him taking the court and really the way that he played. And I know that something that impressed you was his ability to shoot the three ball.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. And I think for him, it looks like he's playing with confidence. Now, one thing I won't do is look for him to have these awesome, amazing nights every single night. It's the NBA. Teams are going to adjust. Teams are going to start scouting him. But it was good to see him play with some confidence. The one thing that I've always said about him, I saw it at Duke. He was a really good facilitator and really good at attacking the basket and finding people, finding open guys. He was going to create shots for those guys, and he compliments the other guys on the team.
4 guys going to play a lot of minutes at the 4 and 5. Zion has a handle. And as you mentioned, he creates for his teammates as well. And it's refreshing, and you had this in Golden State, when your best players or your most talented players aren't ball dominant. He's going to still give hustle plays, dive for loose balls, get blocks, get steals. But yet and still, he's not going to dominate the ball, which is going to allow Ingram to get off, which is going to allow Ball to still get his assists. I like that Zion Williamson has returned to this team and gave him a legit chance to make the playoffs this
I'm
year.
with you, Jay. And it's going to be fascinating to watch because Zion doesn't ask for it, but the attention that comes with Zion. I mean, think about the Nielsen ratings went up like 88%. Right? Like that's incredible. 2.75 at the peak. Million people watched that game they had the other night against the Spurs. How will other young players deal with the attention when things start to happen throughout the course of the season? How this chemistry will ultimately mesh or not mesh is going to be great to watch.
And I think the young players in New Orleans, they see that Zion is bringing attention to a team that otherwise would not get it. Brandon Ingram is a very soft-spoken player who's had a career year. Zion being there, the attention they're getting is going to raise Ingram's platform. There's no question about that. He is going to be, that might help him make an all-star team.
Look, that can raise your stock. That can also hurt your stock if something goes wrong or you don't react the right way, too. I'm not saying that's going to happen for anybody, but just the possibility of that, right?
Well, I think I will say that with Brandon Ingram, when he came out the gate early on and that contract talks were kind of floating out there what he was valued at, I think he was pressing a little bit. When he started relaxing, he was getting easy 30s, which is amazing. And I think that Zion is actually a perfect complement to him. He won't disrupt his touches. He won't disrupt him getting to his spots. They're going to feed off each other. And when I look at Zion, I see like a young Charles Barkley. Doesn't have the shooting touch quite yet, although he did make 4 threes. He's only going to develop to get better. But I see a lot of Charles Barkley in terms of he's going to draw a lot of attention on the block. He's going to be able to push the ball. And then they got a lot of great core guys around him they can build with.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.